In today's video, we're going to talk about how to go from a major scale, or a major key, to its relative minor scale, or minor key. So as you can see, we're going to start with two blank treble clef measures, and we're also going to start in everybody's favorite key. What better than C major? Hey, there it is, C major. So here we have a C major scale with all 8 notes. And what we're going to do is we're going to count up to the 6th degree of the major scale. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The 6th degree of this scale falls on the note A. The significance of the 6th degree of the scale, or in this case the A in the C major scale, is that that note becomes the tonic of the new scale, or becomes the tonic of the relative minor. Now that we know the tonic of the relative minor scale, building that scale is pretty straightforward. The major scale and its relative minor, so in this case the C major scale and A natural or relative minor scale, use the same key signature. So now that we know the tonic, all we need to do is to build an 8-note scale from that tonic. So in this case, it's going to be from A to A using the same key signature as C major. A common question about natural minor scales, or minor scales in general, is what is the formula to build a minor scale? While we could come up with a new formula similar to the major scale formula, slightly different but similar in nature, for the minor scale, we don't do it this way because there's an important association we need to make. A major scale and its relative minor scale share a key signature, which means they share the same notes. So in this case, an A natural or relative minor scale is really just a C major scale written from an A to an A. And knowing that association between the two keys, the major and the minor key, and the major and the minor scale, is essential to this class. Like all aspects of music theory, now we need to talk about a little bit of procedural stuff. So here we're looking at the two scales again. In the left, the C major scale, and in the right, the A natural minor scale. Here are some important things. When we title a major scale, we use a capital letter. So C major starts with a capital C, then the word major. When we title the A natural minor scale, we use a lowercase letter. So it's lowercase a, and then in this case, natural minor, because it's a natural minor scale. So when we name major scales, we use capital letters, and when we name minor scales, we use lowercase letters. One point of confusion that occurs has to do with naming the notes in these scales. Anytime you name a note, whether it's in a major scale or a minor scale, we always use capital letters. So here you can see the notes in C major use capital letters. The biggest point of confusion lies when we name notes in minor scales. Many people think that when we name the notes in minor scales, because minor scales themselves are named with lowercase letters, we should use lowercase letters when we name the notes in minor scales. This is not true. We always use capital letters when we name the notes themselves. So here's an example of the minor scale with its note names using the proper capital letters. So to go back over all of this business, major scales are labeled with capital letters, or named with capital letters. minor scales are named with lowercase letters. But anytime we name individual notes in a scale, whether it's major or minor, they're always capital. So, with a little bit of attention to detail and bravery, we can now go from a major scale to the natural minor scale, and we know how to name everything properly. Let's do some review. So we start with a major scale. We count up to the 6th degree of that major scale. That 6th degree of the major scale becomes the tonic of the relative minor. From the tonic of the relative minor, using the same key signature as that major scale, we write an 8-note scale. So a note using each pitch class that utilizes the same key signature as the major scale. The scale you just built is that major scale's relative or natural minor scale.